hot. My whole body felt as if it were inside a furnace, and the scorching heat was almost consuming me. I snapped my eyes open, and before me was the lavish yet nauseating decor of a hotel. This was hell. It was a living inferno on earth the very night 2 years ago when I'd been betrayed by my good little sister. Lin Ruoyuo. In my previous life, it was right here where I was given a glass of juice laced with drugs by an unattractive stranger whom I'd never met. Although I ultimately was taken advantage of, I was caught red-handed by reporters called in by Lin Ruoyuo. Overnight the young lady of the Lin family, was branded as the third party who destroyed another family and plunged into depression, eventually taking my own life. Meanwhile, Lin Ruoyuo, stepping on my grave, married the man he'd been betrothed to all along and went on to live a life as a wealthy socialite. Since heaven has given me a second chance, Lin Ruoyuo, it's about time we settled our score. I clenched my teeth, enduring the dizziness and weakness brought on by the medication, and stumbled out of the room. The hallway was empty apparently. Those unscrupulous reporters hadn't arrived yet. First, avoid it. I leaned against the wall, summoning my last bit of willpower to press the elevator button. My vision had already begun to blur, but I had to stay alive. The moment the elevator doors opened, a male scent hotter than even my own washed over me. In the elevator, a man is standing, a man who has also been poisoned, with an aggressive flame burning in his eyes. He leaned against the elevator wall, his tie loosened, hanging loosely around his neck. His Adam's apple rolled sensuously, and his thin lips were slightly pressed together. Though disheveled, there was something oddly familiar about this face. Could it be that I've seen it somewhere before? Sir, you look so familiar. I shook my head, trying to see clearly. I'd ended up feeling even more dizzy. The man let out a soft chuckle, his voice hoarse and sexy, tinged with deadly allure. We're both down minus and minus. Outwanderers anyway might as well make do with each other. It's better than eyeing a gruesome death. I looked at him, though my brain was on the verge of shutting down. My will to survive still held strong. We really are fellow sufferers, aren't we? Angrily, he yanked off his tie and spat out a single word. Fine. Good? Good at what? Absolutely fantastic. Before I could even react, the man simply scooped me up in a sideways embrace. I was completely taken aback. Why was it that, among all those who'd been poisoned, he had such incredible strength? Does this medicine even come in different formulations for men and women? I complained weakly. Unfortunately, my brain has already crashed. Those moments of clarity it'd been clutching onto by pinching my thigh have all run out. The drug's effects are now in full swing. My vision is blurry. My mouth is parched, and all I want is an outlet for this pit-minus of tension. Faintly I heard the man's deep, commanding voice seal off the hotel. No one is to disturb it. The beautiful time came to an end amid the effects of medication and physical exhaustion. The blinding sunlight woke me up. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I shot up suddenly, glanced at the muscular chest exposed beside me, and fell into deep thought. Who has the guts, literally bear's heart and leopard's courage to dare to sleep with me, Lin Weiwei? I shifted my gaze downward. Whoa. 6- back ABS. I couldn't help but reach out and touch them firm and hard. They feel absolutely amazing. Did you have a spring dream? I murmured to myself. You're not just having a spring dream, you're the one who's actually sharing the spring dream with me. The voice was deep and magnetic, tinged with the languor of someone just waking up. Startled, I looked up, and there, staring back at me with a smug smile, was the face I'd least ever wanted to see in my life. John Zai, the head of the G family in Hai Cheng. My archenemy. I screamed, trying to escape, but my legs gave way, and I collapsed back onto the bed. John Zai. You bastard! How long did you keep it at last night? You've nearly broken my back. I was so furious that I wanted to hit him. But unfortunately, my hands and legs felt weak and limp. John Zai gave a sly, teasing smile. his handsome face radiating an air of having tasted the marrow and knowing its flavor last night. You were so passionate. It was impossible for me to resist. My face flushed red. I was furious. Just shut up. Who can tell me why I slept with my archenemy? Or rather, I was the one who took the initiative and made the first move myself. I'm so embarrassed I could sink into the Pacific Ocean. I'm so heartbroken I can't even cry, so I'll just have to keep this score in my heart. Lin Weiwei, this is my first time. Ji Junze suddenly said softly and thoughtfully. I almost choked on my own saliva. Who hasn't done this for the first time? I haven't even started complaining yet. Are you really doing this for the very first time? Who doesn't know Hai Cheng SG Junze peach blossoms are flying everywhere? And his girlfriends could be lined up from Hai Cheng all the way to overseas. Didn't you feel it last night? He looked at me with a pout, looking just like a poor little victim. What do I feel? I don't remember. You said it, and I even recorded a video. As soon as I heard that, I snapped. Ji Jinsei, you're a pervert, delete it right now, to prevent you from denying it after you've eaten it. He shook his phone, his face radiating the smug satisfaction of having pulled off a clever trick. Biting back my embarrassment and irritation, I calmly laid down the terms. What do you want? I want you to marry me. Huh? I suspect I misheard. Is this guy still under the influence of the drug, or has his brain gone completely bonkers? Since this is both our first time, let's just get married. Plus, my family has been pressuring us to settle down this way. Well, at least have an explanation. What the hell are you talking about? I grabbed my clothes and was about to leave. Ji Junze sighed and, with a sense of helplessness, took out his phone, then I'll just have to release the video to the public. I nearly dropped my clothes in shock and lunged forward to grab the phone. Are you crazy? This is our action movie. Right, let them see how Miss Lin completely took advantage of me and then denied all responsibility. You, well done. I gritted my teeth. It's just getting married, right? Come on, let's go and get the marriage certificate right this instant. In less than 10 minutes, I got the red booklet. Ji Junze happily put away the 2 marriage certificates, claiming, rather unconvincingly, that he was afraid to tear up the evidence. Back in my spacious apartment, he sat down on the sofa with complete ease, his gaze fixed on me. I quickly threw a few pieces of clothing into a bag, and he gentlemanly took the suitcase from my hands. Div is wearing so few clothes. Could she be hinting that I should buy you some? Dog man, if you don't speak up, no one will take you for a mute. Who cares about the clothes you bought? I've got plenty of money, sister. As a result, he suddenly stopped in his tracks and my nose bumped right into his firm back. Walking without looking, where you're going? He turned around, his eyes filled with concern as he looked at my red nose. I pried his hand open. You're the one who stopped suddenly. He smiled and apologized, lowering himself considerably. I gave him a suspicious look. Was this really the Ji Junze I used to know? Could it be that he was saving up something big for later? Returning to the Ji family's old residence, I instantly felt bored. If I'd known I'd be meeting the parents, I should have peeled off to more face masks. Ji Junze took my hand and, with a show of pride, raised the hand adorned with his wedding ring, announcing to everyone, "This is my wife, Lin Weiwei. From now on, treat her like an ancestral deity. Got it?" The Ji family members present exchanged bewildered glances, their eyes wide with astonishment. A sweet female voice came through. "Take brother, are you serious? Is Lin Weiwei really a good match for you?" Ji Junze's expression turned cold. Are you questioning my words? After giving a stern warning to the others, we entered the old house. My grandmother gently took my hand and pulled out a jade bracelet. This jade bracelet has been passed down through our Ji family only to the eldest daughter minus law of the direct line. I was stunned. Should I take this hot potato or not? Once you put it on, you just can't take it off. unless you are dead or pass it on to your eldest daughter minus in minus law. Ji Junze explained with a sly smile. I was utterly disheartened and, in a state of resignation, just accepted it. Then came the ritual of adding my name to the family tree. After going through that tedious ceremony, I was utterly exhausted. The second young lady of the G family, GXNAN, didn't like me at all and immediately started being sarcastic and snide. I can't even be bothered to lift my eyelids. I'm just closing my eyes and resting my mind. Furious with embarrassment, she tried to attack me. I countered with a shoulder throw and then pinned her down with one hand. Trying to defy your superior? Didn't Ji Junse tell you? Treat me like an ancestor. Have you gone blind or deaf? Ji Junse rushed over immediately, shielding me behind him. Be good, let go. He'll teach her a lesson for you. He turned to GX and Anne, his expression icy cold. Throw her out and add her to the blacklist of those refused contact. The bodyguard immediately picked up GX and Anand carried him away. I was stunned. No way. Nobody told me that Ji Junse was such a wild and crazy guy. Grandma patted my hand and said, Why way? Don't be afraid, she deserved it. Afterward, Grandma mysteriously led me to Ji Junse's study. Vivi, don't be too surprised by anything you see later. She pushed open a hidden compartment, and as I looked up, my heart skipped a beat. Oh wow, full of photos. The protagonist is actually me. This is Junzi's secret, only he and I know about it. Grandma said with a sly, anti-minus-like smile. He's liked you ever since early on. Every time he came home from school, he'd sneak into the study to peek at you. I was so shocked that I couldn't speak a word. He even secretly followed you home. And at the time you hit him, he came back to me looking utterly aggrieved. Grandma also showed me the dowry that Ji Junse had prepared for me, ranging from luxury items to jewelry, and even including baby toys and a set of phoenix crown and ceremonial robes. This man had been plotting for a long time. I returned to the Shanshui city villa in the evening. Ever since he got home, Ji Junse has been hiding in the study, pretending to be deep and mysterious. After I finished taking a shower, I put on my pajamas and headed to the kitchen for a snack. The fridge was crammed full of ingredients, but clearly, I couldn't count on him for much. A big hand wrapped around my waist from behind, dressed so sexily. Were you planning to seduce me? He turned around. My tone easing. Finally managed to drag yourself out. His handsome face flushed slightly, and he lowered his head to give me a fierce kiss. Lin Weiwei, are you feeling pretty smug? Tell me, when did you start secretly liking me? Are you ever going to stop? I'd say I'm leaving. He was pushed to the brink by me, his eyes suddenly blazing with intensity, his big hand gripping the back of my head. From the very first moment I laid eyes on you. When? In middle school. I was furious. We weren't even adults back then. Were we? You beast? So what? That's when I quietly started removing the opposite minus sex individuals from your side. This dead man has actually been secretly in love with me for over a decade. The next day, Grandma invited me to dinner and it turned out to be a grand declaration of love. A giant screen in the city center, drone balloons, and family members from the All Seasons brand witness it all. Lin Weiwei, I love you with all my heart, for a lifetime. I'm truly honored to be your husband, Lin Weiwei. I was so taken aback by the whole scene that I ended up feeling completely flustered. When I got home, I immediately slapped him. Say, you bastard. Now the whole city of Hai Cheng knows their ass. No way I can face anyone anymore. But he laughed fondly, saying, I want the whole world to know that the woman I've been secretly loving has become my wife. Later, Ji Junse took me to a vacant lot. Weiwei, these 500 mu of land all belong to you. In Hai Cheng, where every inch of land is worth its weight in gold, he actually splurged tens of billions to buy land just to give it to me. I remember you said you wanted to own a piece of land of your own. I was speechless. How could anyone possibly handle this? The feeling of being spoiled really is addictive. Later, I learned that Lin Ruo Yuo had been photographed by reporters due to her chaotic private life. leaving her utterly disgraced and ruined. This was all the work of Ji Junze. Finally, Ji Junze bundled together all his assets, real estate, shares, the department store, the commercial street, and asked his lawyer to hand them over to me for my signature. Now that I'm married to you, I want to give you everything I have. If I can provide you with plenty of security, will you feel at ease and love me wholeheartedly? I looked at that silly man, and tears slipped down my face against my will. This is probably what rebirth is all about. From being a scapegoat that everyone despises to being cherished like a treasure in the palm of one's hand. Ji Junse, I love you too.